Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. I wish to thank the organizers and the sponsors, Squared Up and Cookdown, for inviting me to give a presentation in this awesome global virtual event. The title of my presentation is Fun with Advanced Native Dashboards in the SCOM Operations Console. Here is a little bit about me. My name is Wei Hao Lim. You can call me Wei. I am a senior customer engineer based in Melbourne, Australia. I've been in Microsoft for about 9 years. I specialize in designing and implementing cloud and on-premise monitoring and data visualization solutions, and primarily leveraging SCOM, Azure Monitor, Power BI, Azure Defender, and Azure Cost Management. I work with enterprise customers to demonstrate the value of cloud monitoring and its services in Azure and in SCOM, removing technical blockers and encouraging further customer confidence and adoption of these products and services. It is such an honor to be here today to speak to you all on this topic. In this session, you will learn about some of the advanced features in SCOM native dashboards. Here's the agenda for today's session. The agenda is organized under the following topics: an overview of visualization features in SCOM, SCOM native dashboards, what are PowerShell widgets, and an introduction to the custom widget that I've created called the Pagination widget. We'll first discuss about the visualization features available in SCOM and the benefits that native dashboards provide. Then we will discuss how we can utilize PowerShell widgets to display information in a dashboard. We will also demonstrate the features and the steps to set up the Pagination widget in the Operations Console. This session will mainly focus on the native dashboard features in the SCOM console and utilizing PowerShell. So it would be great if you have some prior knowledge on the SCOM architecture, the core components of a management group, its data flow using SCOM commandlets in PowerShell, some familiarity with navigating the SCOM Operations Console, and also some experience with creating simple native dashboards and widgets in the SCOM Operations Console. In SCOM, there are many ways to display and visualize monitoring data using built-in features like views that provide insights into the performance of your service through a performance view, its health state through a state view, or the issue detected and alerts generated through its alerts view. Dashboards, which allows you to present multiple types of data from different sources in a single view. There are two main types of dashboards in SCOM. The first type is the Operations Console native dashboard, which is the type that we will be focusing on in our session today. And the other is the Web Console HTML5 dashboard. Reports, provided by the SCOM reporting feature installed on a server where the SQL Server Reporting Service, SSRS, is installed. Or alternatively, external tools like Power BI with data extraction from Operations Manager databases. The figure on this slide provides a comparison on when it's best suited to utilize the different visualization capabilities in SCOM, based on how interactive you want the visualization experience to be and how much historical data is required to be displayed, compared to how close to real-time the monitoring data display is expected to be. As shown in this diagram, SCOM native dashboards provide a good balance between interactivity and also allows monitoring data from different sources and time ranges to be accessed and displayed. So, a SCOM native dashboard is made out of a layout which consists of an arrangement of cells that can host content on components called widgets. Each cell in a dashboard can contain a single widget. Depending on the dashboard layout selected, the dashboard may have a fixed set of widgets or a number of different configuration of cells. Here's an example of a dashboard layout with 4 cells that can be used to host 4 different widgets to construct a complete dashboard for a specific use case. So, a widget can access a particular set of data or can perform a particular function and presents the results in the dashboard hosting it. Each widget provides a specific set of customization that can be modified accordingly. An important point to note is that native dashboards do not show up on the HTML5 web console in SCOM 2016 and above, but used to work with Silverlight back in the SCOM 2012 web console. Here is the list of out-of-the-box widgets that can be created with pre-configured templates through Widgets in the SCOM operations console, where a user goes through a series of pages and forms and provides the required information for the widget to access a particular set of data before clicking the Done button and generating the widget with the required results of monitoring data on the cells of the dashboard layout. Here are some key benefits of using native dashboards. Dashboards can be defined, stored, and shared in management packs. That makes it very convenient to be shared, backed up, referenced, and their versions can be tracked as well. Dashboards can show results from different sources in one single view and are highly customizable. More about this in our demonstration later at the demo section. Interactivity is available or can be configured in some widgets. Performance widgets collect the data from data warehouse automatically if it exceeds the retention period of the operations database. Therefore, this allows historical data after 100 days to be retrieved, aggregated, and displayed on a performance widget. Authoring a dashboard is a simple process for an operations manager user in the operations console, as shown in the next slide. There are 4 basic steps to create native dashboards. The first step is to create a management pack to store the dashboard information and definitions. Then choose a dashboard layout from the list of available out-of-the-box layouts. Lastly is specifying the name and the description, then add widgets in each cell available on the dashboard layout used. Most dashboard widgets in SCOM allow you to display information in a cell or native dashboard by following and inserting the required information in a series of pages of a simple wizard. These widgets will then display the results limited to specific datasets, specific formatting, and specific look and feel. PowerShell widgets are the most flexible and powerful dashboard component types in SCOM, and they are available out of the box, as they allow you to display virtually any information in a dashboard and have considerable control over its formatting. However, instead of just following pages of wizards, some knowledge on how to write a PowerShell script to run inside the widget is required, including native dashboard specific data objects like script context objects to create data objects and then add the object to the return collection property. We are not going into detail on each widget on the concepts to each script widget in this session. Further information can be found at the TechNet Wiki site on Operations Manager Dashboard Script Widgets. Here is an example of the PowerShell script used in a PowerShell widget. As you can see here, methods of script context such as create from object and return collection are used. Here is the data returned by the return collection in a grid format. In this section, I will demonstrate how to create a dashboard using a PowerShell grid widget that will contain columns with blue bars used to compare values between properties like total CPU or available memory of the records within a grid format. Okay, I will now switch to my lab environment to do this demonstration. I've created a folder up front that contains the resources for this demonstration. As shown here in the resource folder, I have prepared a PowerShell script for the PowerShell grid widget that will contain columns and blue bars that we are going to create now. We begin by creating a management pack in the administration workspace to store the configuration and information of the PowerShell grid widget that we are going to create. So we go to install management pack. Let's call the new management pack SCOM 2021 demo dashboards. Next, create. And we'll also use this management pack to store the configuration information of the subsequent demonstrations that we will be covering in this session. So after creating the management pack in the administration workspace, a folder of the same name will show up in the monitoring workspace. Any dashboard or views created in this folder will be stored in the management pack it was defined in. To create a native dashboard with a single cell, we right-click the folder, select Dashboard View, and select Microsoft, select Grid Layout. In the Layouts list, click Next. Let's call it Dashboard for Demo 1. Click Next. And select a single cell grid layout and click Next and click Create. So once the dashboard layout is created, notice that in here there's a link in the layout to add a widget. When we click this link, a page will open with a list of native widget templates for us to select from. We will choose the PowerShell grid widget template and click Next. This one, PowerShell grid widget, click Next. So for the name of the PowerShell grid widget, let's call it operating system summary dashboard. Click Next to the PowerShell script page. So we are going to use the PowerShell script that we prepared up front, which is located in the resource folder. So double click, Control A, select all, Control C to copy, and paste everything in the PowerShell script page of the PowerShell grid widget configuration process, and click Next to create. As soon as the PowerShell grid widget reloads on the operating system summary dashboard, we will see the results of the PowerShell script displayed in a grid with a table of the Windows computer objects we are currently monitoring, okay, with the health states and the display name for each of them. Health states, display name. Notice that for each computer object, we have two additional columns with a value on a blue bar of a relatively length, one for the average total CPU usage and the other for the average percent memory used. We can use the blue bars to compare the CPU usage and the memory use between the computer objects in the operating system summary dashboard, right? Click here and to compare. Now let's quickly highlight the key components of the PowerShell script we use for this widget. First, on row number 3 here, notice that two SCOM commandlets are being used. So they are the get SCOM class commandlet and the get SCOM class instance commandlet, and they are used against the Microsoft Windows Server operating system class to return all instances of the Windows operating system running on each of the servers being monitored by this SCOM environment. Next, I would like to show you the dashboard component used to create the blue bar columns on row number 28. That is the performance data statistics component. Performance data statistics component. So we will scroll down further to row number 68 here. It shows that for each server operating system instance, create an object to represent it and include its actual health state on the widget in here. So yeah. Next, on row number 76, the aggregation interval for the performance data is set to 1 hour. That means that the blue bar columns will take the average value of the specific performance counter data that was collected in the last 1 hour. So in our example, it's the average total processor time and the average percent memory used in the last 1 hour for each server. And finally, on row number 87 and 93, as you can see, this is where the average values of the last 1 hour for the performance counters for percent processor time and percent memory used are retrieved and calculated for each operating system. So, to add an extra blue bar column for another performance counter, we first go back to the operations console, right click and open performance view of any operating system object on the operating system summary dashboard and select any performance counters listed here in the details pane or in the legends pane. Let's select, let's select this counter. Let's select processor queue length. Processor queue length. Configuration, view, processor queue length. Close. Okay, then we click the gear icon on the operating system summary dashboard and click configure. Click next to the PowerShell script page, extend it. Let's scroll down to this section. Paste it here first. So simply copy everything from here to here and paste it here, and then replace percent memory use with processor queue length. And I will need the if here as well. Click finish, and the new configuration is saved into the SCOM 2021 demo dashboard management pack. And now, there we go. You can see that a new blue bar column created for the processor queue length counter, performance counter, and available for each operating system object monitored by this SCOM environment. Now, I would like to introduce a custom widget that I've created a while back called the Pagination widget. This widget allows a series of native dashboards to be linked first, and then it transitions or rotates from one to the other automatically, like what you would typically see projected on a large screen in an operations command center, where the pages displayed automatically switch or transition from one page showing important monitoring information to the next, and then the next, and then the next, and then the next at a predefined frequency. The display and auto-rotating behavior can be configured with PowerShell on a template defined in the dashboard library management pack that I have created, and it can be saved in a custom management pack like any other widgets to be shared or backed up. As shown in this example, the Pagination widget template contains a list of pages to be configured through its wizard. You can enter a meaningful name and description for the widget in the general properties page, a PowerShell script to display information in a grid format on this page, configure the refresh interval here for this PowerShell script entered in the previous page, and configure the widget to auto-rotate on a predefined frequency on the pagination script and interval pages. On to the dependencies and prerequisites of the Pagination widget. The Pagination widget references some components in the Microsoft Legacy SQL Server Visualization Library Management Pack. Therefore, this management pack will need to be imported into the environment first before the dashboard library management pack containing the definitions of the Pagination widget and its template can be imported. A local control file placed within a folder in the same workstation as the operations console running the Pagination widget dashboard will also be required to keep track of the transition state of the dashboard in focus. The GUIDs or GUID of the native dashboards and widgets to be linked will need to be used to configure the Pagination widget in order for it to be able to auto-rotate from one to the next in the linked sequence. A PowerShell script with the right syntax and key components to activate the auto-rotating between the linked native dashboards per Pagination widget will also be required. All these dependencies and prerequisites will be covered and highlighted in the demo sections coming up next. So I will now demonstrate how to set up the template for the Pagination widget that I just introduced. I will now return to my lab environment to do this demonstration. In the folder I created that contains the resources for this demonstration, I have included two sealed management packs. They are the Microsoft Legacy SQL Server Visualization Library Pack and the Dashboard Library Pack for SCOM-a-thon 2021, in which it contains the dashboard template for the Pagination widget. We begin by starting up or going to the SCOM operations console in my lab environment, and in the administration workspace, right click and import these two library management packs into the SCOM environment. And from this, click No, and this open. Click Install. Okay, both management packs have been imported. Click Close. And once these two management packs have successfully been imported, they can be found by searching, refresh, okay, SCOM-a-thon 2021 here, and SQL. So this is the one, Microsoft Legacy SQL Server Visualization Library. So these two library management packs have been imported successfully. Next, we have to close the operations console and restart it to allow the pagination widget template to be properly added into the widget template directory in order for it to show up as a selection when selecting a widget to be added into a cell of a dashboard layout. So hence, please remember to restart the operations console right after the successful import of these two library management packs for this very reason. So as soon as the operations console is restarted, we go to the monitoring workspace here and locate the folder created for SCOM 2021 demo dashboards that we created in the first demonstration. We are going to create 3 dashboard layouts in sequence in this folder, which will then be stored in the SCOM 2021 demo dashboards management pack. So right click, new, dashboard view, grid layout, next. I will use a single cell dashboard layout for my first dashboard in my new sequence and call it my dashboard 1. Next, and create. And then I will use a 3-cell dashboard layout for my second and third dashboards. Use this one. Next. Create. So I call the second dashboard my dashboard 2, new. And the third one, dashboard 3 cell, select this one, next, and create. So I've got 3 new dashboard layouts. Now, we return to dashboard 1. When I click the add widget link in the single cell, the page of the list of native widget templates opens, but this time notice that there is a custom folder and a new template for the folder called Pagination widget, which was implemented when we imported the library packs just now. So we will return to the slides and proceed with the final part of our demonstration. Thank you. And lastly, I will demonstrate how to create an auto-rotating dashboard with the Pagination widget. Let's return to my lab environment to wrap up this demonstration. Returning to the 3 dashboard layouts we just created in this folder. We know that their configuration are stored in the SCOM 2021 Demo Dashboard Management Pack. Each native dashboard widget component created will have its own unique identifier string in the management pack it's defined in. In order to be referenced in our PowerShell scripts, its management pack ID and the unique identifier string of the native dashboard or widget component is required to form a unique URI for it. So let's now export the SCOM 2021 Demo Dashboards Management Pack into our resource folder and retrieve the unique identifiers of these 3 new dashboard layouts from the XML file of the management pack. Right click, export. I will now open the XML file of the management pack with Notepad or Notepad++. And scroll down to copy the unique identifiers of my dashboard 1, 2, and 3 as seen in the language pack section here. Dashboard 2 and dashboard 3. So I'm recording these unique identifiers temporarily in this separate file, and I will add the ID identification of the management pack. They are configured in front, separated by an exclamation mark here. And as you can see here, this forms the URI for each of these dashboard layouts to be referenced by the PowerShell script used in our Pagination widget. In our resource folder, I prepared the PowerShell script for the Pagination widget, and I will open it and replace these URIs. I'll open it. And replace these URIs with our new URIs for our new dashboards. Here we put the URI for my dashboard 2. And then my dashboard 3, and back to my dashboard 1. In summary, it is a set of commands that links these new dashboard layouts and tells the Pagination widget to transition to my dashboard 2 if it is in my dashboard 1, transition to my dashboard 3 if it's currently at my dashboard 2, and back to my dashboard 1 if it is already in my dashboard 3, and the transition continues on and on. So once this is completed, we can copy the entire Pagination script into the clipboard. Then we return to the monitoring workspace of the operations console. Go to my dashboard 1. Click to add the Pagination widget in general properties. Let's call it new operating system summary dashboard. Click next into the PowerShell script page select all and delete everything on this page. We'll come back to this page later once we have set up the pagination script for all 3 dashboard layouts. Click next. Change the refresh interval to a large number like 900 seconds, that is. Click next. Paste the pagination script here in this pagination script page. And set the pagination interval to 20 seconds for our demonstration. And click next and click create. Next, we move on to add the pagination scripts to the bottom right cell of my dashboard 2, and then I'll do the same for my dashboard 3. Click next. We can call them auto rotate component. Auto rotate component 2. Like this. Click next. 900. Next. And then paste the pagination script into this page. Click next. And configure this for 20 seconds for our demo. Next, and create. And repeat what we did here on my dashboard 3. Call this auto rotate component. Next, delete this. Next, set to a large number and paste our pagination script here. And select 20 seconds for our demo. Next, create. Now we go to the first PowerShell grid widget we created. Click the gear button or icon, click the gear icon, click configure. Next, copy the entire script to reuse in my dashboard 1. So let's do that. Configure. As seen here, the operating system summary dashboard can be recreated on a pagination widget. Next, we go to My Dashboard 2. Click and configure to add, let's say, an alert widget. I'll add a detail widget here from the widget template lists available out of the box, as you can see here. And for the alert widget, I will select alerts, Windows, computer, alerts. Next, computer. Or Windows computer, let's do that. Next. Criteria, new ones. Actually, let's select all. Next, and then create. And detail widgets. Detail widget can come here. Next, details. So this is an example of a contextual widget where when you select an alert here, it shows you more information or shows you the details about the alert. For dashboard 3, I'm going to leave it blank just for our demo purpose. Now, to turn on the auto rotating feature, we'll need to create a state file that allows the pagination widget to know which dashboard is now in focus on the operations console and which dashboards to rotate to next. Okay, let's go back to the pagination script. Referring to this pagination script, we will proceed to create a folder with the name SCOM dashboard temp data on the C drive. So we call this text file auto scroll control. So auto scroll control. The first row is a true or false. So I put false here. True or false to tell the pagination widget whether to rotate to the next dashboard. And the second row is my dashboard 1. The dashboard name to be read by the pagination widget to determine which dashboard to transition to next. Of course, both of these file names and folder locations can be changed to suit the use case, and the pagination script will have to be modified accordingly. Right? So in here, pagination file and location. So after we have prepared the auto scroll file, as you can see here, we return to the console and go to my dashboard 1. Okay. And let's minimize the task pane. As you can see, when I click my dashboard, it went to my dashboard 3. And after 20 seconds, let's see where it goes to. Yep, so as you can see here, it transitions to my dashboard 1. Now, as you can see, the auto rotating has started and continue on successfully. To stop the auto rotating, you can change the name of the auto scroll text file as such. So when I change this name, it can't find the state file, hence it doesn't rotate, as you can see here. This stops the auto rotating. Another important point to note is that the account used to run the operations console must have write access to the auto scroll control file in the SCOM dashboard template data. Another important point to note is that the account used to run the operations console must have write access to the control file in the SCOM dashboard temp data folder and in this local machine. Otherwise, the auto rotation might not work if the auto scroll control text file is not updated when the pagination script is running. Now you can provide a bit more context to what are the dashboards linked in this auto rotating sequence by using a script to create dummy objects as represented on these linked dashboards. So I have a sample script in the resource folder that can be added in the PowerShell script page of a pagination widget. So this is it, create representation objects. Edit with Notepad, select all, paste the script here in the PowerShell script view. I have added a green health state to indicate my dashboard 2 is in focus by using this long string and setting the value to 1 here. Click finish. Yep. And if I change the name of the control file back to the right name, back to the correct name. Wait for a few seconds, and this should rotate to the next dashboard. Yeah, dashboard, my dashboard tree. This concludes my demonstration on how to create an auto-rotating dashboard with the Pagination widget. So now, let's return to the slides and go through the post demo notes. This concludes the demo section on the PowerShell grid widget and the Pagination widget. All samples from these demos will be shared. These include the sample community management pack file with the Pagination widget template, the Microsoft Legacy SQL Server Visualization Library Management Pack reference, a sample control file that I demonstrated earlier on, a guide in PDF format on how to configure the Pagination widget, a copy of the PowerShell script used to activate the blue bars on the PowerShell grid widget used in the operating system summary dashboard. So in summary, there are many ways in SCOM to display and visualize data using built-in features like views, dashboards, reports, and external tools like Power BI, depending on how interactive you want the visualization experience to be and how much historical data is required to be displayed, or how close to real-time the monitoring data displayed should be. SCOM native dashboards and widgets provide a cost-effective way and a good balance between interactivity and allows merging data from different sources and time range to be accessed and displayed in different formats. PowerShell widgets are the most flexible and powerful dashboard component types in SCOM, and they are available out of the box, as they allow you to display virtually any information in a dashboard and have considerable control over its formatting. The Pagination widget introduced in this session allows a series of native dashboards to be linked, and then it transitions or rotates from one to another automatically, like what you would see projected on a large screen in a network or monitoring command center, where the pages displayed on the screen automatically switch or transition from one page to the next at a predefined frequency. Thank you for the time and the support of everyone involved, and I will see you over at the Meet the Speaker Cafe to chat with you and to take further questions. Enjoy the rest of the sessions in this awesome virtual event. Thanks again.